Hey guys, welcome back to this week's episode. Now I know you guys have been waiting for this one for a very long time. I've had a lot of comments saying when is this video coming on Facebook and Instagram, and also on YouTube comments and other videos. And this is the one you've all been waiting for the Red Sea. Me and Holly are going to go dive the Thistlegorm. The Thistlegorm, if you search on any lists for the top wrecks in the world, the Thistlegorm's number one, like this one here. Has Thistlegorm number one as the best wreck dive in the world, and we're going to go jump in and show you why it's got this reputation. You guys are going to love this one. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, share our videos. It helps out a lot as we almost make the 2,000 mark. But as always guys, you're going to love this. Let's go in and dive the SS Thistlegorm in the Red Sea in Egypt. Enjoy guys.
You can't catch it on that.
Excited? Welcome to the most famous shipwreck in the world. Now I could not wait to take Holly on this wreck, and all she ever hears about is how incredible this wreck is, why it is the best wreck in the world to dive. And she's about to find out as we drop down on the stern section of the SS Thistlegorm. Now the SS Thistlegorm was built by Joseph Thompson Sons, shipyard in Sunderland, for the Albyn Line and launched in 1940. She was powered by a triple expansion steam engine rated to 1,850 horsepower. The vessel was privately owned but had been partly financed by the British government and was classified an armed freighter. Now as you can see, she has 47-inch or 120mm anti-aircraft guns and heavy caliber machine guns attached after construction to the stern of the ship. Now you can see the size of these guns, these 47-inch guns. They're huge, right on the stern, as you see Holly's looking, but she hasn't noticed the other one right behind her right now. Now this is honestly a phenomenal wreck to dive. As we move from the stern, heading towards hold 4 to enter the ship, this ship had a very interesting role in the war. The vessel carried out 3 successful voyages after her launch. The first was to the US to collect steel rails and aircraft parts, the second to Argentina for grain, and the third to the West Indies for rum. Prior to her 4th and final voyage, she was undergoing repairs in Glasgow. She set sail on her 4th and final voyage from Glasgow on June 2nd, 1941, destined for Alexandria in Egypt. The vessel's cargo included Leyland and Albion lorries, Morris commercial trucks, Universal Carrier armoured vehicles, Norton 16H and BSA M20 motorcycles, Bern guns, cases of ammunition and Lee Enfield rifles, as well as radio equipment, Wellington boots, aircraft parts, railway wagons and 2 LMS Stainer Class 8F stern locomotives. The steam locomotives and their associated coal and water tenders were carried on the deck cargo intended for Egyptian National Railways. The rest of the cargo was for the Western Desert Force, which in September 1941 became part of the newly formed 8th Army, commanded by General Montgomery. The crew of the ship under Captain William Ellis were supplemented by 9 naval personnel to man the machine gun and the anti-aircraft gun. Now, as we drop into hold 4 and move through hold 4 into hold 3, you can see the vehicles. Now, we look along here and we're coming along, you'll notice the motorbikes. They're all stacked up, you can see the wheels, you can see the structure of them as well. But this is what is really staggering about this wreck. Yes, it's in the entry to the Suez Canal, where it was sunk, and you do get very strong current at points in this. But when you're inside the wreck and you're looking at this almost mobile airfield, because what another belief was, as we're moving into hold 2 and then into hold 1, right near the bow of the ship, is there's also belief that this was actually carrying secret airfields, mobile airfields. It has everything for airfields as well, where it would pull up, set a base up, set an airfield up, planes would arrive, they'd commence operations, and then when they were identified by the Germans as a location or had to be moved, they would pack up the airfield as well. So this is one of the theories behind this cargo, that it was actually a portable mobile airfield it was moving as well. So it's very, because this has been top secret, there's always very questions of what was the ship actually doing, what was it actually carrying. Now we know what it was carrying, but why was it carrying it? But as we continue moving through, a bit about the history. So how the ship became sinking was, there was a large build-up of Allied troops in Egypt during September 1941, and German intelligence suspected that there was a troop carrier in the area bringing additional troops. 2 Henkel HE-111s aircraft of the Luftwaffe were dispatched from Crete to find and destroy the troop carrier. The bombers failed to find the troop carrier. One of the aircraft discovered the vessels moored in safe anchorage F near the Straits of Gubal. Targeting larger ships, the aircraft dropped 2 bombs on the Thistlegorm, with both striking hold 4 near the stern of the ship. As we can see how that area of the ship is completely decimated and been flattened. They landed at almost 1:30 in the morning on the 6th of October 1941. The bombing set ablaze hold 4, fire spread quickly until the ammunition stores in the hold blew up, with the explosion tearing the Thistlegorm into 2 pieces and sinking in a V shape. Eyewitnesses from HMS Carlisle spoke of seeing the Thistlegorm explode and sink in less than a minute, with a loss of 4 sailors and 5 members of the Royal Navy gun crew. The survivors were picked up by HMS Carlisle. Captain Ellis was awarded an OBE for his actions following the explosion, and the crew member, Angus MacLean, was awarded the George Medal and the Lloyd's War Medal for bravery at sea for saving another crew member. Most of the cargo remains in the ship, the major exception being the steam locomotives from the deck cargo, which were blown off either side of the wreck. And when you're moving around the wreck, you can find and see the locomotives on the stern and also the port side of the ship. Now this wreck, as we're saying, is spectacular. We just move through from hold to hold, and you run around the inside of the holes. So the first dive, you normally run the outside, get yourself a bit orientated with this incredible wreck. And then the second dive, you move around the inside of the wreck and just move on 2 levels of the hold. So there's 2 decks worth of cargo to explore, which is awesome. You move through 1 level, looking at the Bedford trucks, the rifles, the vehicles, everything you can imagine. And then you come up round 1 whole loop of the inside, and then you move up the next deck and run the other loop. Now as we're moving along, we're now on the outside of the ship. We were looking at the water tankers that were sitting up there. We were looking at the coal storage as well. And then we were starting to notice the current is starting to pick up. But here we have the coal storage trailers for locomotives. And the amount of life on this wreck is staggering. It had batfish, there was soldier fish, there was just so much life inside the wreck. Now, as I said, it's in the entry to the Suez Canal, where, if you remember that evergreen ship that blocked the Suez Canal a few years ago, is not far from where the Thistlegorm is located. And one of the advantages of doing this dive on a liverboard is you get here before the day boats arrive. Now this is a hugely popular dive. You search any dive list for top wrecks in the world, and Thistlegorm is always number 1. And there's a good reason for that. When you dive this, the history of the wreck, the amount of marine life on it, the cargo on it, it's just spectacular. Unfortunately for us, the day we dived it, it was murky water. I dived this wreck back in 2009 as well, and I had staggering, beautiful marine life and visibility. We had turtles on it, we had sharks as well on it, but today we weren't as lucky just with the visibility. But we now head back towards midship to start our safety stop. And I really hope you guys enjoyed coming out and exploring the Thistlegorm wreck, the most famous shipwreck in the world, if not one of the greatest wreck dives ever. Now you're going to hear what Holly thought of the wreck. She's going to come up in the outro, give her thoughts of it, so stay around for that. But as always guys, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed exploring the Thistlegorm with us. As you can see, the current is now picking up and we're having to take the midship stern lines to get back up. But as always guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week, and stay around for Holly's outro.
Right guys,
I really hope you guys enjoyed coming out and exploring the Thistlegorm with us. Now, it's one of my favourite wrecks. It was stunning, but it was murky today and Holly didn't enjoy it as much. I think because everyone hyped it up so much for her that she was like, meh. But we did enjoy it.
we did enjoy it.
The batfish are so cool. It was awesome to actually get to finally take Holly to explore it. But to be honest, I think when we did the Janice D,
That was
the
a good
morning,
wreck. It was just so full of light.
the visibility was phenomenal, as you guys saw in last week's video, and I think that made it difficult to compete when the visibility is so amazing and colours were incredible. But as you can see, we are here, sun setting, to do a night dive on it now. That's going to be next week's video, so don't forget to subscribe, hit a like, and also don't forget to hit the bell. And guys, we'll see you on the flip side for the night dive.
Bye.
Are you not doing the night dive?
Huh?
You're not going to do the night dive?
We are doing it.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, you better.